myself Parmesh. I am your social teacher of 7th standard. Dear students, now we are in the lesson of Mughal Empire. So, dear students, in the Indian history there are three important empires are very famous and also the great empires. The first one is Gupta Empire, the second one is Mayura Empire, the third one is Mughal Empire. Okay, this Mughal Empire or this Mughal dynasty was established by the Babur. So, who was the Babur? Yes, Babur he was belonged to the Central Asia, or he was belonged to the Afghanistan, okay, and he was the king of Kabul. And his father name is Umar Sheikh Mirza. Umar Sheikh Mirza, he was the king of Fargana. So the Babur was attracted by he was waiting the opportunity to attack the India. And because of the India was a very rich country and also very rich in minerals and as well as a rich and as well as prosperous country, that is why he was waiting the opportunity to attack the India. Okay, and the moment in the 15th century, so India was completely controlled by the Delhi Sultans, especially the Lodi dynasty. Okay, in the Lodi dynasty, among the Lodi dynasty, there was the clashes between the kings to become a king of Delhi. So in the Lodi dynasty, then in the period of 15th century, there was Ibrahim Lodi was ruling the Delhi, and his brothers Bahuluddin was waiting to opportunity to defeat the Ibrahim Lodi. So on the moment, the Bahulal Lodi was asked the help to the Babur, come to the India and please help to defeat the Ibrahim Lodi. So this opportunity was used by the Babur and he came to the India. Okay, he has announced the war against the Ibrahim Lodi. That we call it as the first battle of Panipat in 1526. The first battle of Panipat in 1526 against the Babur versus Ibrahim Lodi. Okay, and in that it was not very easy to win the Babur because Ibrahim Lodi, the soldiers were more than lakh, but Babur he had only 6,000 people. So how to win those Ibrahim Lodi? So that was he has used the two important skills in the war. Those skills are Taglama and also guerrilla. You already know in Marathas, the Chhatrapati Shivaji, he was very famous in doing a war by using the guerrilla war. Okay, so see the guerrilla war first was used by the Babur in the Panipat. Okay, so Taglama and guerrilla, two important skills he has used in the war and he successfully defeated the Ibrahim Lodi in 1526. So like this, the Babur, when he defeated the Ibrahim Lodi, he has established the dynasty of Mughal dynasty in Delhi and Agra. Okay, and as you know, he was belonged to the Mughal race in the sense Vamsha. Okay, so Babur was belonged to the Mongol race. So Mughal, this word is driven by the Mongol. So that is why later it is called as Mughal. Okay, and also the Babur he has fought against the three important wars against the Rajputs and as well as Ibrahim Lodi. The three important wars are Panipat war in 1526, Gogra war in 1527 and Kanwa war in 1528. The three important wars as done by the Babur. So and also he has, as I told you, that he has defeated the Rajputs because Rajputs also very strong kingdom in the period of 15th century in India. So Rajputs and Afghans. Okay, so by using the different kinds of variety of different kinds of weapons he has used in the war, and as I told you that Taglama and guerrilla skills also he used in the war, and he has completely defeated the Rajputs and the Ibrahim Lodi. So like this it was all about the Babur. So after the dying of in 1530 he was died because of illness. So after the death of Babur, the completely Mughal emperor, so his son, he has ascended the throne. So his son was Humayun. So Humayun, he was a very soft personality. He was a soft corner personality he was completely defeated by the one of the king called Sher Shah Suri. Who was Sher Shah Suri? The Sher Shah Suri was a king of Afghan and Sur dynasty. Okay, so he was completely defeated the Humayun and he has occupied the Delhi and Agra. So after he had defeated, he fled away to the Persia. Yeah, for 14 years. 14 years he did not come back to the Delhi. So after the 14 years, Humayun he reunited the army and he has re-attacked the Sher Shah Suri and defeated, and later he has occupied the Agra and Delhi. So again he has started this Mughal dynasty. So after the death of Humayun, there is his son called Akbar. Akbar was ascended the throne. The Akbar is known as a greatest king of Mughal empire because of his achievements, because of his skills of administration, so because of his dareness. So Akbar is called as the great emperor of the Mughal empire. Okay, so Akbar, the introduction of this Akbar is, he was born in the Sindh place of Amar Port. He was born in Sindh place at Amar Port. Okay, and also his father name is Humayun, the mother name is Amida Banu. Okay, and he was the teacher of or guider, teacher and army commander of in the Akbar is Bairam Khan. So Bairam Khan has played important role in when he was engaged, because when the Humayun, after the death of Humayun, when the Akbar was ascended the throne, just he was a 13 years old boy. Okay, then he could not manage the complete administration. That is why Bairam Khan, he took the responsibility of administration. He started ruling the Mughal dynasty in the name of Akbar. Okay, so Bairam Khan, he was a guider and teacher and philosopher of the Akbar. Okay, and also when the Akbar was ascended the throne, so one of the commander called Bengal king Muhammad Shah, his commander called Hemu, he was started opposing the Akbar because of his too small. He has used the opportunity and he has attacked the Delhi and Agra and he was occupied. Okay, that was not. Then the Akbar was announced the war against the Hemu. That is what called the second Panipat. The first Panipat was 1526 between the Babur and Ibrahim Lodi. The second Panipat between Akbar and Hemu. Hemu was the commander of Bengal Muhammad Shah. Okay, so between second Panipat 1556 between Hemu and Akbar, and in that war Akbar was won in the help of Bairam Khan and his army. Okay, and later he has started ruling the Agra and Delhi. So and also later he has also made a plan how to get the help of Rajputs, because he knew that only war cannot build the good relationship between among the all kings. So that is why he has started to build the relationship in the Rajputs family. So that is why he tried to pursue Rajput's kings, and also some of the kings were they are joined the Akbar and they started helping the Akbar. Okay, but one of the Rajputs king called Rana Pratap Singh. Rana Pratap Singh, he did not support the Akbar. He has announced the war against the Akbar. That is what called the Haldi Ghat war between Akbar and Rana Pratap Singh. So actually the Akbar did not come to the war because he has sent his two chief commanders called Man Singh and Asaf Khan. Man Singh and Asaf Khan are the chief commanders of the Akbar. Akbar has sent to the two important chief commanders for the wars. They have won the Haldi Ghat war against the Rana Pratap Singh. So like this, the day by day Akbar was becoming a famous king and he started extending his dynasties throughout the India because of his strong army. So like this he has occupied the Gujarat, Bengal, Kashmir and Kabul. Okay, so like this, these are the important things of Akbar. Now we can discuss about the achievements of the Akbar. And also, before, as I told you that Babur has written an autobiographic book, that is Babar Nama. Okay, so let us study about the achievements of the Akbar. So now dear students, now we are going to learn about the Akbar's achievements. So in the Akbar achievements, as we know already, he was called as the great king. Some of the qualities needed to call him as a great king of Mughal dynasty, and also he was a very broad mind. He was not a diplomatic ruler, and also he knew that to extend his empire, to vast empire, he need to win the trust of Hindu subjects. Okay, that is why he has implemented or he has given the preference for the Hindu subjects in his administration and also in his religious policies. Okay, let us see. So in administration, he has appointed the Hindus to high posts. Okay, especially in the army, there is a Mansa. The high post person recorded as Mansa. Okay, so Hindus are appointed in the high posts. Okay, and also he has withdrawn the two important policies like jizya and also pilgrimage. So what is jizya? Jizya is a non-Muslim tax. So if you are not a Muslim, so you need to pay the tax for the jizya tax in his. So this were the non-Muslim taxes and pilgrimage taxes were made by the before kings of the Akbar, like Babur, Humayun. These people are made the jizya and pilgrimage taxes. So non-Muslims. So because as you know that this Mughal dynasty completely belonged to the Muslim dynasty. Okay. So because of to extend this dynasty, to the Akbar need to win the trust of the Hindu peoples. That is why he cancelled the jizya tax and pilgrimage tax. Jizya tax in the sense, if who are non-Muslims, they should pay the jizya tax. Pilgrimage tax in the sense, to visit the important historical places or to important temples. If you wanted to visit the important the temples of the Hindus, you should pay the pilgrimage tax. So that is why to win the trust of the Hindu subjects, the Akbar has withdrew or the cancelled the jizya and pilgrimage tax, which you have learnt in the 4th standard. Okay, and also in the land revenue policies too. See, in the land revenue policy was completely designed by the Raja Todra Malla. Okay, Raja Todra Malla was the Minister of Revenue System. He has made a new policy of land revenue policy. According to the policy, all the people, all the subjects, all the people of the Mughal kingdom, they should pay the equal taxes according to the land revenue policy. This was attracted by the everybody and it was appreciated by the everybody. Like this, 3 important administration of the achievements has been done by the Akbar. Okay, like first one is he has appointed the Hindus in a high post, and also he has withdrawn the jizya tax and pilgrimage tax, and also land revenue system. It was made by the, it was designed by the Raja Todra Malla, and also administration to control to discipline in his dynasty. He has introduced the police system also called these police. Nowadays, now present we call it as a police, but before it was called the Patwals. Okay, that was introduced by the Akbar. Okay, this is all about the administration. When it comes to the religious policy, so religious policy also he was a tolerant king. He respects all the religion, whether it is Hindu, Muslim, Christian or Buddhist, Jainism, all the religions he respected all the religion. So and also he constructed the prayer hall in the new capital. Like new capital is Fatehpur Sikri, a new city was established by the Akbar and he made a capital. So in the Fatehpur Sikri, he has established the prayer hall. That we call it as a what? Ibadat Khan. that we call it in a Ibadat Khan. What they will do in Ibadat Khan or in prayer hall? They were discussing about religious matters. Okay, and also in the discussion, he was invited the leaders of the Islam sect, and also he invited the Christian leaders, Hindus leaders, the important leaders were invited for the discussion of the religious matters. So on the result of the religious matter, after the completion of the discussion, he decided to establish the new religion or new sect that we call it the Deen-e-Ilahi. Okay, Deen-e-Ilahi was the new religion was established by the Akbar, but unfortunately it was not followed by everybody. Okay, Deen-e-Ilahi introduced the very good points, like everybody we have a different kinds of methods are there, right? In the Muslim religion, people are followed. They were doing the prayer for every day, and the Friday they should go to the mosque. And also in the Hindu, when it comes to the Hindu, every day we should offer the God. And the methods are different, right? So the good points are added into the Deen-e-Ilahi. Okay. After that, the important patronizing arts. So in patronizing arts also, the important poets are in the Akbar's court. So Faizi, Abdul Fazal, Birbal. Faizi, Abdul Fazal and Birbal are the important poets are in the Akbar's court, and also the immortal singer. So Tansini was a great singer, greatest singer was in the Akbar's court. Okay, and also after the Akbar, the completely Mughal kingdom were ascended by the Jahangir and Shah Jahan. So in the period of Shah Jahan, it was called the golden era of architecture. Okay, golden era of architecture because of he has established the very important buildings were constructed by the Shah Jahan, and that is in the memory of Mumtaz. Taj Mahal has been built in Agra, and also the Red Fort it is built in the Delhi. So this is all about the important things of achievements of Akbar, and also Shah Jahan and Shah Jahan. Okay, this is so next class we can discuss about the Aurangzeb. Okay, thank you.